Oh, hi. James from engVid. Yeah. Have something I want to teach you today. I hope you didn't see me doing, well, I'm a little vain. What can I say? Okay, today's lesson is on something that I've had students address or bring up several times, which is summarizing writing. I had given a lesson earlier on about how to write a paper, and I just said, and summarize it. Assuming that students, when you assume, you actually think that something is true. I assumed that students would know the answer and just go with it. And then I got a couple of responses where students said, well, what do you mean by summarize? We understand you want me to do something, but how do I do this summary? So I've come up with something I hope will help you today, and Mr. E, of course, is going to help us. And the first thing he wants us to show us is, what is a sum? Because summary comes from sum, which means to come to an answer. Mr. E had some time on his hands, and he asked himself a question. He asked, if you had 4 times multiplied by 21, divided by pi, and then add infinity, what would the number be? And he came up with the number 42. And this answer is the answer to the life, the universe, and everything. So by using this number here, oh, by the way, it comes from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Good movie, go watch it, okay? But he's saying, if you add all of these things together, because they're different things, completely different, but if you add them together, you will come to a number which will explain basically what each one of these things are telling you. And that's what we mean by giving a summary. Taking information from different sources, putting them together, and then saying, this is basically what it means. Okay? So what I want to do is get you to be able to do this and say, this is what it means. So the first thing we want to do is, we want to look at, how do we do this? Well, when you get something, say a book or an article in a magazine, what you should do is look at the title. Right away from the title, let's make a prediction. Predict is an interesting word. D-I-C-T means say, talk, tell. Pre means before. So we want to make a prediction, which means we want to look at the title and then say, by looking at this title, IELTS practice tests, I predict there will be tests in here. I will say, before I open the rest, there will be tests in here. I will make a prediction. We can use the title to tell us whether this is a story, like policeman or an ambulance, an emergency story, see? Okay, it's a story. Or if it's going to be academic and teach us something, or it's going to be an argument and defend a position. So we're going to use the title to give us a prediction about what we're going to learn. Next, we want to ask questions. What do you mean by ask questions? Well, you make a prediction. I think this book is about biology, economics, sociology, or a story about how a good boy became better. Now I want to ask some questions. I want to ask questions that are going to basically say, what am I going to learn? If I have predicted what the title is, when I ask a question I should say, will this teach me about how something works? Will this teach me so and so and so on? So you ask questions about what should you learn, what information should be there if you've made the right prediction. Okay? So we start with a prediction, then we ask questions. Like, what information should be there so I know I understand the subject properly? And write them down, because you're going to look at these again later on. So let's go over, okay? There we go. Now we're over here. After we make a prediction, we're going to do this. Compare. You need to compare. We did 2 things, okay? We did 2 things here. We made a prediction, and then we asked some questions. We predicted what should be inside what we're reading, and then we asked questions about what should we be learning, what should we get from this, okay? Now we have to compare our prediction with our questions that we asked. Why? When you finish learning something, if you do this comparison, something interesting will happen. First of all, you'll know, did you learn what you thought you would learn? Okay? Was the book about what you thought it was going to be? That will help to clarify things for you. Okay? That will help so you're reading and going, oh, you know what? It didn't answer this question, so I really don't know the answer to this subject. Or it did hit everything I was asking it said. By doing that, it means I was able to, when I was reading, asking myself these questions, to know the subject, so it goes deeper in your brain. This is good for you, okay? Now, after we've done this comparison, what we want to do is we want to take a second or two, close your eyes. I know you're visualizing me naked right now. You like? You like, I know. Anyway, Ezekiel's not happy. He's like, visualize. Why? In drawing a picture in your mind after you've done all these comparisons, you have the ability to actually visualize and come up with a picture. A picture will give you understanding. If you can picture it, you usually understand it. When I ask you what is infinity, you usually don't know it. I mean, infinity means the beginning and the ending never ending. That's why it's a loop. It just keeps going on and on and on. I can speak for infinity. Really, I could. What I mean by that is something continually going on. So here, when you visualize something, if I say dog, I can either say, has 4 legs, goes roof, roof, has long hair, smells bad. Another word for bad is foul. Smells foul, okay? Bad breath. But you visualize the dog, you see a dog, and that means more to you, okay? You see it, you understand it. So what we want to do is do the comparison and visualize, get a picture in your head of what they're trying to show you, or at least a moving picture. If you can do that, you understand it. Now finally, what we want to do, after we do this, is now we're going to do and now we're going to work on the summary. You can see summary here. The S, excuse me, I made a mistake. I think visualize, and it's really visualize, okay? So S for S. I'm a terrible speller. I teach the rules, terrible. I like to read more than I like to write, so you'll have to excuse me when I do that. Happens once in a while. In fact, check other videos and see if I made a mistake and crossed it out. Okay, so now we can actually do work in the summary. Because we actually have visualized and we can come up with a word to cover something, because we got this picture in our head, like I say water, you get a drop. You go, okay, drop, drop. You can use that word. You can use in your summary the words that you get from the visualization to become key ideas, right? When you think about freedom, you might think something like chains. Someone's got 2 chains behind their hand and they're chained up. And then you go, chained. Man is chained to his destiny. And he needs to break free of the chains. And then that's the idea of freedom. You can say, this leads to freedom. Because you can see chains holding someone back, holding them back. And then you see the chains gone, you see them being free. The visualization gives you keywords which can become ideas, you like? So when we're doing a summary, we want to do what Mr. E has done. Make a prediction. He has made a prediction that if he thinks about this, he can come up with an answer. The answer to everything. He asks questions. Well, what would be involved? What would I have to know? What should I have to learn? Do I have to know what pi is? Blah, blah, blah. Then he compares. When he gets into the question, he compares the question that he asked with his prediction and sees how they match up. Did he get all the information that was required? Did he miss anything? After that, he visualized. He visualized infinity in his head, pi in his head, 41, visualized, and then he finally came up with an answer to the question. The answer to the universe and everything. And boys and girls, this is a public announcement moment. What I'd like you to do is, after you get off, go to a website, maybe Wikipedia, because it knows everything, and go check out the number 42 in Hitchhiker's Guide. You'll find out some interesting facts about the fastest way to travel on the planet Earth, the name of God, and all sorts of other things. Woo! Okay? Go check it out, it's kind of cool. Anyway, so, predict, ask, compare, visualize, and then summarize. Yeah? Alright, now I'm going to get going. In summary, I hope you've learned a lot. I've given you not only information on how to improve your essay writing skills, but the answer to everything in the universe. But if you need to know more, I feel like William Shatner. If you need to know more, you must go to the source. And the source today is 42 is not the answer, baby. No, the answer is www.eng, as in English, vid as in video, where we will give you life, the universe, and everything in it. No, we won't. No, we won't. I wouldn't get paid. This is for free. It's for free. Have a good day. Con, criminal, me, police. Calm, place to go.